Hello, everybody.
What?
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service. To you, your family, the sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here. Sir?
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing. A commander-in-chief, a leader who's going to show up and tell you that your service was worth something. I think that's the important part, so I think it was a great thing to have.
Last time I got to see a president, it was Gerald Ford.
How about that?
We as men would die without complaining, without pleading, and safe in the feeling that we have done our best for what we believed was right.
You absolutely have to see this clip of President Obama, and this is how our veterans should be treated every single day. What President Obama did shouldn't be amazing, but it is. And that is exactly how every single veteran we have here in the United States should be treated every single day, not just on Veterans Day. And I am the proud granddaughter of a veteran of World War II. And this, I know I'm very emotional, but thank you, President Obama, for doing this and recognizing their service.
Wow. You know, in times like these, when the world feels divided and politics seem to pull people apart, it's moments like these that remind us what true leadership looks like. Our former President Barack Obama just walked into a plane full of veterans, men and women who served this country with courage, honor, and sacrifice. And he personally thanked every single one of them. No cameras flashing for show, no politics, just genuine gratitude. One by one, he shook their hands, looked them in the eye, and said, "Thank you." People on board felt it. It wasn't being Democrat or Republican. It was about being human. As the veterans and their families arrived in Washington, D.C., you could see the emotion in their faces. Some smiled, some teared up, and everyone felt respected. Let's get to see the reactions, then you come back with commentary.
This is my president.
Everybody.
What?
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service. To you, your family, the sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here. Sir?
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing.
Sometimes I feel like this country took this man for granted compared to what we have now. That man would never. That man did a whole speech and voiced it about himself and his administration and what he felt like was good for everybody. And this man is not even president anymore, and he still is doing the duties that some presidents have not done in years. Still honoring people, carrying yourself with dignity. Like, it makes me sad to think that that is the man that's representing us. It makes me sad. And it makes me miss him. Damn, I miss that man. I hate that man in office now.
As a veteran who served this country, over the past 10 years, I have truly lost my faith in my service to this country, the way that the country is going now, the direction in which the country is going now, led by this regime. But when I see former President Barack Obama show up at D.C. Reagan Airport to surprise a group of veterans who are doing an honor flight, to thank them for their service and to shake each and every single one of their hands, thanking them for their service to this country, it restores my faith in my service to this country. Watch how former President Barack Obama greets and thanks and honors those who have served.
Hello, everybody.
What?
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service. To you, your family, the sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here.
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet and honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing. A commander-in-chief, a leader who's going to show up and tell you that your service was worth something. I think that's the important part, so I think it was a great thing that happened.
Last time I got to see a president, it was Gerald Ford.
How about that?
It was joy in my heart today to see all these people. It's good. We still got people in our country, and that's good.
I had tears in my eyes. I just couldn't believe that there was that many people around that remembered us and was there to greet us, and it was just unbelievable.
Former President Barack Obama did not go on that plane and look at those veterans and say, oh, you voted for Trump, I'm not going to shake your hand. Our veterans are being impacted right now with this current administration and their draconian policies. Many of our disabled veterans right now depend on SNAP benefits in which they are not receiving. So if you voted for this regime and this administration, don't thank a veteran. Don't thank a veteran for Veterans Day because you voted against our benefits.
On Veterans Day, we're supposed to honor the brave men and women who put their lives on the line for this country, but Donald Trump simply can't do that. He just had to make this speech all about himself and, of course, spread a few lies while he's at it. Take a look at this.
Veterans, we have a 92% approval rating. We took that up from 38% from a certain previous administration that we won't mention.
A 92% approval rating. That's a lie so big you can see it from space. It's unbelievable. Donald Trump's not using Veterans Day to honor the veterans. He's using it to honor himself. His ego is out of control, but the crazy part is he expects people to believe this nonsense instead of reality, polls, and actual data. We're currently 295 days into Donald Trump's second term, and he has a 39% approval rating. That's, of course, nowhere near 92% like he's trying to claim, but over half of all Americans blame him directly for making their lives worse. The contrast here is crazy. Today, Barack Obama surprised a flight of veterans as they were entering D.C., shaking all of their hands and saluting them. He looked them in the eye and honored their service with genuine gratitude and respect. That is leadership. You can feel the difference here. One man uses veterans as a backdrop for his own ego. The other one shows up to shake their hands and salute them. One of them makes everything about himself. The other one knows it's not about him, it's about them and the country they protected.
When a former commander-in-chief takes the time to personally honor those who served under the flag, it sends a message that echoes louder than any political speech ever could. Our social media lit up with messages like, "This is what a real president looks like." Another person said, "Obama has always shown class." And another person said, "Our true patriotism is about respect, not division." And maybe that's exactly what America needs more of, a moment that unites us instead of tearing us apart. Because at the end of the day, no matter who we voted for, we all can agree that our veterans, the men and women who risked their lives, deserve to be honored, respected, and remembered.
It's Veterans Day, and what I'm about to tell you is absolutely disgusting. While America is supposed to be honoring all veterans who served, Donald Trump's government is erasing some of them. And yes, you guessed which ones. See, this week, the United States quietly removed a memorial in the Netherlands that honored the more than 1 million black soldiers who fought in World War II. The display stood at the American Cemetery in Margraten, where 8,000 U.S. troops are buried, including 174 African Americans. Now, one of the panels told the truth, that black soldiers didn't just fight the Nazis, they fought segregation in their own ranks. They built airfields, drove supply trucks, dug graves, and liberated Europe while still being denied equal rights at home. Now those panels are gone. No notice, no ceremony, just disappeared. The Trump administration's excuse? Routine rotation. But there's nothing routine about erasing history, especially the parts that make America uncomfortable, and especially the week leading up to Veterans Day. And it just happens to come after complaints from far-right groups like the Heritage Foundation, who say the military should stop dividing soldiers by race, even though those soldiers were treated differently. See, on Veteran Days of all days, this is how Trump chooses to honor service, by pretending some service didn't count. So remember this, the men who stormed beaches, flew planes, and built bridges for freedom all deserve to be remembered, because erasing their story doesn't make America prouder, it makes America smaller.
I don't know about y'all, but tears came to my eyes when I saw Mr. Obama at that flight thanking the veterans. Like, that was, no money could buy that. Integrity, appreciation, the way he conducts himself. He's just an amazing man. There's a reason why he was in office for 8 years straight. Michelle, you got you a good one. And we would have loved for you to run for a third term, because you will take over USA. You sure will. We love you yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Just know that. I just want to come on here and say that. Mr. Obama, you rock.
This right here is a photo of President Obama as he greeted veterans as they arrived in D.C. this past weekend. As most of you know, today is Veterans Day. And he greeted those veterans with just simple gratitude and to let them know, you're not forgotten, and thank you for your service. Now, as we all know, President Obama has always shown true leadership, true intelligence, always. So nothing that he does, even post-presidency, it never seems to amaze me because he is that guy. Something that Trump will never be. That's exactly why every chance Trump gets, he tries to attack Obama. But I stand by him. He is my forever president, and Trump can never add up to the things that Obama was when he was in office. You don't like it, so what? But that's my belief, and again, Trump can never.
Happy Veterans Day from the ex-Al-Qaeda guy. Imagine being a veteran and watching the ex-leader of Al-Qaeda, and I mean this quite literally. Only a couple years ago, he had a $10 million bounty on his head from the US government and was on the most wanted terrorist watch list. He's now playing basketball with US officials, including the leader of CENTCOM, and doing photo shoots in this gaudy-ass, whatever this is, remodeling of the White House. Listen to what Trump says when he was asked about his, history of terrorism.
We want to see Syria become a country that's very successful, and I think this leader can do it. I really do. I think this leader can do it. And people said he's had a rough past. We've all had rough pasts.
A lot of us have had a rough past. You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs to tell Trump to calm down on the makeup. It's giving Oompa Loompa. While Trump was cozying up to this dude, who again was on the US's terrorist watch list like 5 minutes ago, our new mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, who they all keep viciously smearing as a jihadist terrorist, was having lunch with veterans in the Bronx.
Hey, just so we're clear, MAGA, your guy will never ever make people feel like this.
Hello, everybody. What? As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service. To you, your family, the sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here.
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing. A commander-in-chief, a leader who's going to show up and tell you that your service was worth something. I think that's the important part, so I think it was a great thing to have.
Last time I got to see a president, it was Gerald Ford.
How about that?
Never.
He was a top 10 man that became a top tier president. Now he's a top tier former president.
As I watched that video of Obama walking through that plane, it made me think this is what leadership should feel like. Not loud, not boastful, but humble, grateful, and sincere. Every veteran on that flight represented a story of service, sacrifice, of leaving family behind to protect the freedoms that so many of us take for granted. And Obama didn't walk past them as former president. He walked past them as a fellow American saying, thank you for your service. It's easy to make promises. It's easy to talk about supporting the troops, but real respect is shown in moments like these, in simple human gestures that says, I see you, I value you, and I appreciate you. What makes this moment so powerful is that it reminds us being a patriotic isn't about how loud you shout, America first. It's about how deeply you respect the people who made America possible, the first place. Every veteran deserves that level of honor, no matter who's in office. They deserve to come home to a country that never forgets what they gave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.